You are about to hear the ultimate proof that the artist Keith Haring was unbelievably productive and energetic. In 1983, when I interviewed him for People magazine, I asked him a simple question: what are you doing next? And you will now hear his answer, which took nearly 5 minutes.
In the last month, I did a piece at the Sao Paulo Biennale. Well, in Sao Paulo also, I did a painting on the wall in the space. It was about 25 feet long. From Sao Paulo, I came back to New York for one day and went to Madrid for this show at a museum in Madrid. And I had a week to do the things for the show, but I went there to make things there also. Because I went out into this village outside of Madrid where they manufacture ceramics, because they make huge pots to put olives in. We bought this pot that is about 10 feet tall and I don't know how many pounds it weighs, right? So they had this shipped in with the truck, and I did a drawing on it similar to that, but I mean it's huge. So it's like it took 15 men to get this thing inside the door, I swear. Anyway, while I was in Madrid, I had been called a week before from Fiorucci's in Milan, and they asked me if I wanted to paint the store because they had been to Tokyo and seen a building that me and my partner LA2. I had taken him to Tokyo with me and we painted a building there, and a lot of people have seen this building, so these people called me from Fiorucci's and asked me if I wanted to do it. At first I said no because I was going to be in Madrid. There was no way at that time. Then I talked to Andy, and Andy said he was going to be in Milan that week, and it was a good week to go because there was a big fashion thing that week, so there'd be press there from all over the world, etc., etc. So I called him back and said, maybe I can do it. So I had them fly LA2 over by himself because I was already in Madrid. So we left Madrid, went to Milan for 2 days. At the same time in Milan, I was being in a group show at this other gallery. So the day we flew to Milan from Madrid, I met LA2. We bought paint. Then we had a press conference that afternoon for this group show. So, and then that night, me and LA2 painted Fiorucci's, which took about 14 hours. Painted the entire store. Painted all night long and then slept for about 5 hours. Finished the next day. They had taken all the clothes out of the store, so it was like a huge exhibit, really. Then they had a big buffet and had a disc jockey and had a huge party that
Oh,
night,
that's great.
which was, I mean, they had to have policemen at the door to control the invitations because there were so many people.
Yeah.
So the next morning we leave, go back to Madrid, and from there, the opening of the show was the next day where I did a painting, 12 feet by 21 feet, which took about 5 hours, and weird bullfighting painting. From there, one day later, flew back to New York and went to Pittsburgh, to LA2 also, because we did an installation painted a room with black lights and fluorescent paint in a place actually in Pittsburgh where I had my first one-man show when I was 20 years old before I came to New York. And then the next day, I painted that Friday night in Pittsburgh. The next day, we did this thing with where there's a new Philip Johnson building in Pittsburgh, the most incredible building. It looks like the Wizard of Oz, like all made of, it's a Pittsburgh plate glass building. They're still working on it, so there's wood construction. And they had gotten arranged ahead of time permission. So I painted that on Saturday, went to the opening of the show, flew back to New York, packed my bags, and left for London in the morning, where I did a one-man show in London, which the work for that show had been done before I left for Brazil. So I went there, was on TV a little, did interviews.
Where in London was it?
Is at a place called Robert Fraser Gallery. And then I stayed there another day, did more interviews. I did a painting in the window of this place, movable panels, and then came back to New York, which means I have a month to do the show here.
And that's pretty much what you're doing for the next month.
Yeah, completely. And then I finally have a month's vacation, which is the first vacation I've had in 2 years.
Do you know what you're going to do on your vacation?
Yeah, my friend Kenny Sharp married a Brazilian girl and is having a baby. And he got this house on the ocean in Bahia for $2,000. So I'm just going to go there and stay there for a month. Because they should have the baby at the end of December. Yeah. And I'm going to be the godfather. So I'm going. And then I start off again. February's Australia. From there, I don't have exact dates, but there's Los Angeles, Cologne, Germany, Milan. I haven't done Paris yet. And that's it. My proof that Keith Haring was kind of busy. You can hear more from my 1983 interview with Keith on the podcast I Couldn't Throw It Out, wherever you get podcasts or at throwoutpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.